So when it came to Michael's resume, when it came in, I just kept thinking this is like too good to be true. And when I called his references, they were absolutely glowing. And then before you know it, he just started these programs. He kept time with the kids after school for the garden club. We had over 70 kids that first year, and it was scary them all walking around with rakes and weapons and shovels and all that. He started the BIS singers for grade 4 and 5. He did the band for 4 and 5, and it was just absolutely amazing. So as he added these activities, things got a little hectic, you know? And so sometimes I would say to him, Michael, did I know about this? You know, or I would say, am I paying for this? How much is it going to cost me? You know, but the thing with him is that he has this vision and he does whatever he can do to make it come true for the kids. You know, and the thing is that he has done so many things for BIS, whether it's all those clubs or speaking at school committee or putting a concert together for Veterans Day or Month of the Military Child, or doing our book club that was school-wide, the Wish Tree. When he did all these things, you know, he wrote grants, he got the cultural grants to make sure that our kids were exposed to music across the world. He was doing all of these things while he was teaching and keeping everything beautiful. There was times when I would look out the window and I would see him outside, just kind of like walking in circles, and I'd be like, all right, is he okay? You know, like, what's happening? What's happening out there? And then before I knew it, he was making this beautiful meditation garden. No map, no plan, he just was moving pavers around and putting a pot down here, moving it over here, and he did that all over the school. And if someone, you know, if we had a staff member that had a family member pass away, he would buy a hydrangea and plant it in the ground for them, you know, whatever, or even at the retirement parties, he gave hydrangeas to everybody. You know, and so as it went on, he was involved with every aspect of the school. He touched everything that we did. And, you know, as the time went on, you know, sometimes I was just like, all right, we gotta slow down, Michael, but he couldn't because he wanted so much for the kids, right? So the thing that came to realize was he loved his craft. He was an expert at his craft, speaking nationally several times. Like you know, to have somebody of his caliber was just outstanding for our school. And so the thing is, there's so much to say about him, but this much I know, that whether it's growing vegetables, flowers, making beautiful gardenscapes, or writing curriculum, or making butterfly gardens for the science teachers, whatever it is, I know without a doubt that you made VIS a better and a more beautiful place to be, and we thank you, Michael. I wanted to present you with Master Music Teacher and Master Gardener.
I thought that perhaps a very brief introduction to Michael's student years could give you a little insight into Dr. Michael F. Smith. But first of all, I am the older brother by 11 months. So among the guests here tonight are our younger sister, Susan, and his mother, Anne, who is about to turn 90 years old. So teachers, you're going to hear some of this. Michael is the middle child, which of course says it all. He was the peacemaker of the family. He is the favorite child. Now, I'm 64 years old, I'm still trying to be the favorite child. Education has been very important to our family. Our father was an educator, and his 3 children have followed in his footsteps in a variety of ways. But let me tell you how Michael's education kind of began. Began as a student in a very fascinating manner. Teachers, you'll appreciate this, because one of Michael's early school experiences as a student involved a field trip to Franklin Park Zoo. On this trip, the first grade version of Michael was bitten by a zebra. Now, there are those in our family who will tell you, no interrupting here. There are those in our family who will say and claim that he was bitten by a giraffe. But those of us who are in the know, have no doubt that Michael was indeed bitten by a zebra.
Can I say something?
No?
Just quick. I have a zebra in my classroom. It's life size. Paul gave it to me for my 50th birthday, and every student asks me, why do you have a zebra in your classroom? And I say, because every classroom in America should have a zebra.
Yes. Or a teacher that was bitten by a zebra. So why was Michael bitten by a zebra? No one knows.
I do.
It could have been that my mother did not give him enough money to purchase zebra food. And by waving his little first grade fingers, he was gnawed on by the zebra. Some may argue that a giraffe would have preferred the little first grade fingers, but there's no doubt that Michael was feasted on by the zebra. The doctor questioned Michael. Why did he feed his fingers to an animal? Our mother Ann said, my boy was not just bitten by any animal, it was a zebra. Now it was fine after tetanus shot. However, the episode continues to live on in the folklore of the Smith family. Now what's interesting about this zebra episode, and the reason I bring it up, is that when he reached 4th grade, his musical career really began, and he picked an instrument that sounds like a zebra. He chose the trombone. Perhaps it was destiny. Michael used to practice the trombone in the backyard. The neighbors would call my mother and say, Ann, do you have a giraffe in your backyard? And she said, that sound my boy is making are the melodious tones of a zebra on his trombone. But we move on to his teaching years, and Michael has turned zebra tones into music that he composes, books that he's written, and clinics and presentations that he's given at regional and national conventions. But more than that, like the teachers in this room, Michael loves teaching. He's a natural teacher, willing to share his love of music, though he is coy about his love of animals of the savannah. Michael's taught music at the high school level, middle school level, and those of us who know him well have seen him thrive at Bourne Intermediate School. He loves what he's done. He's carried on very proudly the tradition of our father. His books are instrumentalists being used in the region and around the country. And I am sure Michael will be busy during retirement, a word that simply means a change of direction for many of us. You will find him gardening, as has been mentioned, writing music, and mentoring teachers at various conferences. And you may just find him at the Franklin Park Zoo. Look for him near the zebra pen.
While I'm talking about families, I want to just mention my wife. My wife is a saint for putting up with me. My biggest thank you of the night is to Janey Norton. Janey invited me into Utopia. And I want to just say that again, Utopia at BIS. She treated us like a mother hen gathering her chicks. She loved us, and we knew it. And that's why we worked so hard. And I'm so glad that I was invited into your Utopia. It's been a wonderful place to be.